Hi, Best Buds. It's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you joined me today. Today is hashtag cathysowinghappiness, in which we'll have our drawing at the end of the video. But first, let's have our shout out to Christine, Candace, Susie, Monica, Judy, Chucky, and Rose. I appreciate each and every one of you. Set this aside. We'll have our drawing at the end. So today what we're going to make is cloth and paper junk journal. It's going to end up being a mini junk journal. So I actually have some digital pieces, and I guess that's what you're going to call them. They're either tags or digital cards or journal cards, something like that. Now, you don't have to use a digital. You could cut a paper piece out. These happen to be from Pink Monarch Prints, and I will link their shop below. These are 6 inches by 3 and 3/4. 3 and 3/4, almost 8, almost 4 inches. Oh my gosh. Alrighty then. So let's go ahead and let's get some fabric. So I've got this fabric here. Oh my goodness, you guys. So I was prepping for this video this morning, and I took a drink of my tea, and this has never happened to me before. It's not that I choked on it. I just spewed it out. I mean, instantly. It was the weirdest thing. But anyway, so this is what happens when you've coffee dyed it and then you spit tea on it. Oh my stars, you guys. It even got my little booklet, which I'll show you in just a little bit. But it's interesting, isn't it? So I had to dry it, and so now it's dry, and we're going to go ahead and make something from it. So I've got 2 little digitals, as I was talking to you about. So my cloth is just a little bit larger than my print here that I have. So I'm going to bring in my fabric tack, and I'm simply going to apply my glue on the back of my digital here, or my paper, I should say. I keep calling it a digital. It is a digital, but you could use from paper pad. You could even use notebook paper. You could use whatever type of paper that you want. Now this is just copy weight. It's not even cardstock, okay? So it's lightweight. And I'm simply going to glue it right on top of my coffee dye and tea spitting piece of fabric. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe I'm telling you guys that. But it was the craziest thing, because someone's going to say, how did you get that? Well, I'm really not sure. I'm not sure how I got that. So what I did was, because I do love to sew my paper, I did take it to the machine, and I simply just sewed around the edge. Now, if you don't sew around the edge, you are going to have to be careful into getting your glue to the edge, putting your glue on the edge of your paper, your rectangle here, so that the edges of the paper will really glue well onto your fabric. Because I'm going to run it over to the machine, I didn't even put my glue on the edge, because I don't want my needle to be going in and out of this wet glue. But I'll be right back after I give this a little bit of a stitch. All right, so I actually have 2 of these right here. So this is how they look. And what I want to do is actually fold it in half. So I'm simply going to take the end to end and just give it a nice crease. Now, let's do the other one as well. Okay, there we go. So I like this side as opposed to this side for my front of my little journal, and the same with this one. I like this side, but you know, maybe you can turn it until you find the side that you like. Why does this look crooked? Probably because my fabric is a little crooked. Yeah, I think my fabric's not quite straight. That's okay. It's a junk journal, right guys? So the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to bring in another piece, and I'm simply going to fold it in half the long way, just like this. I'm I'm going to bring in my little guillotine. I think it will fit in here. Yeah, just barely. And let's give this just a little chop. And I'm just cutting off a sliver, just a little sliver of my fold where it was folded. So now you look just like this. And I took mine, I have another piece. I took mine to the machine, and I don't know if you can tell, but I sewed around the edge, all the way around the edge, so that I would be able to place this inside like this and make a pocket. So I've got two of them here, so let's just go ahead and use them. Actually kind of like this. I like this on both of them, so I'm going to move that over. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to ink both of these up. As I tell you, what is, I just dropped my thread that we're going to need to sew our papers into my journal. Oh, good thing it still has the needle attached. All right, back to what I was saying. I'm going to tell you about what is Cathy's Sewing Happiness. It is you helping me spread happiness through simple acts of kindness, letting someone in line at the grocery store ahead of you because you have 20 items and they only have 2. Or my favorite, I love giving this and I love receiving it, and that's letting someone in traffic. Whatever the situation is, no one's letting anybody in. Heaven forbid anybody get ahead of anybody else. And when somebody lets you in, it truly lifts your spirit. It really does. And then you smile and you wave to them, and then it lifts their spirit too because they did something sweet. And you said thank you to them. So simple acts of kindness. Now, in the most recent Cathy's Sewing Happiness, you need to enter. You need to tell me your act of kindness in the comment section. It's okay if you don't want to say your act of kindness, then simply type in the 2 words spreading happiness, and that will be your entry, and you don't need to tell us. So what do you get if your name is pulled out of the fish bowl? You know, the big bowl that you saw me in the beginning with? You win Happy Mail from me to you as my way of paying it forward. But you guys, I'm going to need your address. So if you enter into the drawing, whether you tell us or whether you just type in the 2 words spreading happiness, you're going to need to check back next Sunday to see if your name has been pulled out of the fishbowl. And then I will send you Happy Mail if you send me your address. So how to do all that is listed down below. I invite you all to join in and have some fun and spread some happiness to others, because we don't know what other people are going through. And we just need to help each other, lifting each other's spirits so we can just keep going. All right, so I'm going to run over to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew around the edge, and then we'll continue making this adorable little mini junk journal. All right, so I've sewn my little strip right here. So what we want to do is lay it right on the inside, and we're going to apply some glue, or you can sew it however you want to do that. So I've got my art glitter glue, and I'm simply going to add a little glue to each. Oh, whoa, that's not a little glue. I'm going to add some glue to the bottom and to the sides, and I'm going to just place it right here. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing to this one. Yeah, I want it to be this way. So adding my glue, just like that, and then putting it right where I want it to go, right down here. Now, because I have sewn everything else, I think I better sew this, because if I bend it now, which I'm going to need to do, then it's not going to work out very well. It's going to move because this is wet glue. So I'm going to take it over to the machine and I'm going to sew it around. But as you can tell, there's nothing wrong with just gluing it, okay? Absolutely nothing. All right, so I've sewn it on, and I'll be able to fold it now. So let's fold it back like we had it. giving it just a crease. So now we've got a pocket on our front and back cover of our little mini paper and cloth junk journal. And let's go ahead and let's decorate a little bit on the front. Now I'm just grabbing a paper clip and I'm going to, well, that was not working so well. Let's see about maybe one of these. Just popping a paper clip on just like this and then bringing in a few things. I kind of had a mass make just a little bit ago, and I made a whole bunch of little flowers with little flat back pearls in the center, and I thought, well, let's just use some of these. I think they're super sweet, and I think I'd like to use a tan one and maybe a little whiter one right there. So let's use that. And then, you guys, I went to an antique store today. Isn't that a beautiful dish? Oh, I found another beautiful little dish. And then I have another little dish with some gems on it, some bling. This one has the flat back pearls. This has a little bit of bling. I have a little bit of that net that has the polka dots. And I have that lace, you know, the lace that they sell at the Dollar Tree that everybody seems to have. It is a handy little lace, isn't it? So I've got some of that. And what I think I'd like to do is, I think I'd like to lay this lace, maybe, looking for my little scissors, here they are, maybe something like this. And I'm just going to fray the bottom. I'm going to glue it right on, well, I don't want to lose my flower here, guys. Put my flower in my dish. I'm going to glue it on just like this. And I think I'll do it right down the side. So I'm using hot glue because it's quick, it's easy, and it's really great for videos. So I've grabbed it and I've got it on here, and I'm just gluing my lace down. You can use fabric tack if you don't use a hot glue gun, and if you do, be very careful, you guys. So let's see, do I want this on the top or on the bottom? I think I want it on the bottom. So I'm going to snip another little piece, and I'm just fraying the edges just to give it more of a tattered look, and adding my glue, and then just laying my lace right down on top. All right, that's looking pretty cute. I'm thinking maybe this little tiny piece I have here, I think I'm going to finish it off, and I'm going to place some more glue and just use up this little piece as well. I was just kind of hanging around from that other one that I made. Okay, and how about if we do the same to this one? Now, let's see here. How about if we, I really like this ziggy-zag with the dark print. I think that looks really good. I'm just laying it down, and then I guess I'll cut it, because I didn't cut it before. There we go. Snip it off, kind of pull it. And let's add a little bit on this side. Let's add a little bit over here. It's ziggy-zag right there, and then it kind of stops. And so let's go ahead. What's on this? I don't know. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of glue right here, and then just lay this on top. Okay, so it's kind of here and there, you guys. Oh, I kind of like that. I'm just going to stop just like that. Now I've got this little net, and what I want to do with it is I'm actually going to kind of take it down just a little bit. I got glue all over my fingers, guys. And I'm going to kind of pucker it up a little bit, and I'm going to pop it right on here on the corner. So adding a little bit of glue, I'm just going to, so I've kind of gathered it right there. I don't know, you can see that. I've kind of gathered it, and this was, I think I'm going to fix that right there. Yeah, so now it looks like that. And I'm going to actually cut this about right there. And I'm going to add a little bit of the little flower. Which one did I want to go where? Okay, I think I want this one here. So I'm simply going to add my glue to the back of my flower, just like that. And then I'm going to push this up and add a little glue here and just lay it over so it just catches that. So it's pushed up. It's not completely flat. It's giving it a little bit of movement like that. Okay, so now can you see that that's bunched up? There you go. You can see it a little better. But it's soft. It'll go completely flat. It's not going to, not be flat to put into your journal. And since we used a pearl there in my little flower, let's get some of these. And just put a little bit right here. Just lay some, let's see, turn that over. Just lay some right here. That looks really cute right there. And how about a little bit right here? So I'm going to lay this one right there. So it kind of came off the lace a little bit, but that's okay. I like that. I think that looks pretty doggone good. Now this is where my flat back pearls are going to come in. I'm going to bring them in, and I'm going to put just a little dab of glue right here, and then get one on my finger and stick it right on where I kind of gathered it. And then how about another one maybe right here? And let's get one in. Whoa, I put it on upside down. There. And then maybe one right here. And then let's go ahead and add that one. All right. Now it looks like that. Now as I look at this, I didn't do this with my other one, but I'm going to bring in my labels. Now these labels are by J. Lee Lou, and I don't know what one I want. I'm just kind of seeing here. That one's pretty doggone cute. And then I've got this one. I can't decide if that's an 8 or an 8 or 800. I guess it depends on whichever way you pop it on. That one seems to be pretty big. Let's see. I'm not sure if you're going to enjoy going through my little dish with me, my bucket. Oh, that one looks good with it. I like that one. That one's nice. All right, so I noticed that it's not inked up. So I do want to keep with that theme. And my pearl is kind of in the way to put it right there. But yeah, I think I'll pop it on right there, and I'm actually just going to use my hot glue. There. Popped it on right there. That's really cute. Now that cover, I believe, is finished. Let's bring in this one, and once again, I'm going to get my little net, and I'm going to just pucker it, just like that. I'm going to add a little bit of glue right here at the corner. And I'm going to just add this all puckered up like that. Just like that. Yes. And then I'm going to trim it. I'm going to leave a little bit here. And then pucker that up and put a little bit of glue and glue this down like so. And then, well, look at that star. That star is on my glue gun. I just left it. You can't see it really. Can you see it underneath there? Oh, my flower came with me. All right, I'm going to anchor this down. Okay, and then maybe right here. So I'm just anchoring this net down, getting the streamers off from the glue. Okay, since I can't figure out what way that goes, if it's an 800 or an 8, kind of bugs me. So here's our first. It's awful dark. This one's kind of big. How about this one? I do like this one. All right, let's use this oval one, and bringing in my inking sponge, adding a little bit of glue. I'm going to do this before I put my pearls or my flowers on. There we go. Now I'm going to add some glue right here to my flower that I made. And then I've got 2 of these left, so let's just make them work. We'll just put one here, and let's put one right here. We'll just put 2. It'll be all right because I have the 3rd one up here, so it still makes a little bit of a triangle. That one's really sweet as well. Now let's get to putting in our signature. So I'm just going to sew in one. Where am I going to put this? Put this dish right over here. I'm going to put this dish right over there. I've got way too much going on here, guys. I've gone ahead and I've cut my pages. And these pages, someone's going to ask me, they are about 6 inches by 3 3/4, something like that. And I have some coffee dyed tracing paper. I have some coffee dyed lined notebook page. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There'll be 8 pages. And let's just go ahead. Now, did I glue this shut? Open this up, and we're going to need to take our paper clips and just, what happened to that other paper clip? Here it is. Just clip this together like that. Now, have you been with me long enough to know about my little trick that I use to sew in a signature? This helps me so very much. What you want to do is you want to get a strip that's about 1 inch wide, and it's as long as the journal that you're wanting to put a signature into. Then you fold it in half the long way. Then you fold it in half one more time, and you fold it in half one more time. And you open it up, and you put a little dot where the folds intersect each other. And then you lay it into the, where you want to put your signature, the crease of your signature. And I'm going to grab a couple of little paper clips here. Hope these aren't too little. I should have grabbed the big ones. I might have, should have, whatever that means. So there, and then this one. So then what you want to do is you'll want to get your thread, whether you're using embroidery thread or whether you're using book page thread. That's what I have here. It's wax, and I have a little bit of packing material, and I've got my awl, aka pokey tool, and we're going to place our awl in on top of one of the little dots that we made, and hold your awl up straight up and down. Pull your signature, your whole journal, pull it up tightly up to the awl and press it so that your awl comes through the outside of the journal. There, you can see that. Okay, now do the other 2 the same exact way. Like this. Now you remove your little guide, but don't remove your paper clips. Get your thread, whatever kind you're using, thread your needle, and then you're going to measure, and you're going to say 1, I've got my thread, 1, 2, 3, and then I give it a trim. You don't want to run out of thread when you're sewing in your signature. So we've got our needle here, and then simply go into the center, pull it, hang on to the end just a little bit, go ahead and go through one of the other holes, just like that, all the way down to the last hole, checking to make sure it's not caught on anything. Back through the center hole, and this is where you want to see where your little tail is. If it's on this side or whatever side of your center thread, you want your one that you're going to be pulling up now to be on the opposite side. So you want your thread to be on the opposite sides of the center thread. Make sure it's not caught on anything, and pull it firmly, but not so firm that you rip a hole in your journal. Trim off your needle and go ahead and tie it firmly. Now, if you're using embroidery thread, you'll need to leave it open for a little while your glue dries, because you're going to need to put a dab of glue right there on your knot, because an embroidery thread will work its way loose. This waxed bookbinding thread doesn't, so I don't need to do the glue on my knot. Now, let's open it up. Oh my goodness, hear how it sounds? Doesn't it sound wonderful? Let's go ahead and let's fill our pockets. I've got a couple of little things here. I've got a little journaling card. I can stick right in here like this. Well, is it too tall? It's a little tall. I might need to cut that off. And then I've got one for the back. You can stick all kinds of things in there. You could decorate your pocket as well. You could stamp some things in here. You can do all kinds of things. I was going to show you the one I made earlier, the one I actually spit on. Oh guys, it was a whole bunch of tea that I sucked in, and oh, it just came out so fast. I had to go change my clothes. I got all wet. But it got wet, as you can see, it got wet. It got wet inside. It's dried now. I've got my pocket. I did a little lace right here. But it really did get wet. But it's all fine now. But what a crazy thing to have happen. But this is the one that I made as I was working up how to do this. Oh, I love how they look. They're really quite shabby looking, aren't they? And they're fun because they've got cloth. And it's just, I don't know. I just think they're really, really cute. You can make them with any kind of paper you want. Book page, pad of paper, magazine, digital, whatever it is that you have, you can make into these adorable little cloth and paper junk journals. Let's have our drawing for our Happy Mail. So, who is going to win Happy Mail this week? Maybe it's you. Let's see. Who is it? Whoop. Here we go. Who is this? Let's get our little journals back in here and let's open it up and let's see. Goodness gracious, Cathy. Jojo. It's Jojo. Jojo, you have won. You have won Happy Mail from me to you as my way of paying it forward. You guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.